Welcome to Queensland Cup Rugby League. Today, with just 4 rounds remaining, it's 4 versus 3 as South Slogan Magpies host Redcliffe Dolphins. We're coming to you live from Brandon Park, Acacia Ridge. Just a month to the finals. Nice to have you on board. Quentin Hull with you for this week of Queensland Cup footy. 3rd versus 4th. South Slogan up against Redcliffe. It really does promise to be a little bit of a taste of what's to come with the finals just around the corner. But these two teams, even though they are ingrained in the top 6, the form line's been different for them. The Redcliffe Dolphins have been in a couple of tight losses of late, but they've lost their last 3 games. But the Magpies have been in terrific form. 6 in a row for them, and they'll be looking to make that a magnificent 7 here today in overcast conditions at Acacia Ridge. Let's have a look at the results of last weekend in the Queensland Cup. In our TV game, winner Manly, an important win against the Mackay Cutters to get inside the 6 for the Seagulls. North's, South Slogan and Central's winners as well, along with the Pride and Tweed Heads continuing their unbeaten run. It was a very physical 16-10 derby win over the Burleigh Bears, but look at Tweed Heads, 35 points. 9 points clear of Northern Pride in 2nd place, but today our 2 combatants, 3rd and 4th, both on 24 points. So you can see there by the ladder, Warren Boland, David Wright, good to have you on board again. That ladder shows you that these two teams are pretty much entrenched in the 6, but the South Slogan story, David's been a really good one considering their relationship with the Canberra Raiders and how it's changed throughout this year.
Quentin, you're right, and it surprised a lot of people actually, because you've got a situation that as of the 30th of June, no more dual registration for players who could have played either with Canberra or the South Slogan boys, but they've won all 4 games. That surprised a lot of people. Credit to them. They'll have to run with the players they've got now. Still got a couple of Canberra 20 players, but most importantly, the number 9, Travis Waddell, has elected to stay with South Slogan. He could have gone back to Canberra. He decided to stay up here, and now Canberra is short. So I think this system is just a little bit crazy. It all came from the New South Wales Rugby League being very protectionist about their New South Wales Cup competition. Let's hope the Independent Commission, when they come in, they sort out, and I'm sure they will, this whole 2nd tier competition, and let some of these other clubs put a footprint elsewhere outside their own backyard. Let's hope that happens. But I've been very impressed with South Slogan. They won 8 out of their last 9 games. The game that we saw, they actually were fantastic in their kicking game. I think the first 5 tries they scored came as a result of kicks. This one had a little bit of luck about it, but of course you've got to make your own luck. They had plenty of players backing up, and Drury Lowe scoots across in the under the sticks. Lowe, of course, a Canberra Raider, played a few games this year. Fantastic effort here by young Cronin there. He scored 3 tries that day, was the man of the match. As he scoops through again, it was a real kickathon, and then Ioane pops that good pass up again to Drury Lowe, and he scoots away to score tries. Really a bit ordinary that day, probably made South Slogan look good, but they were certainly very, very impressive themselves. There's the dressing room, bit of strapping, a little bit of rubbing going on to make sure everyone's loose and ready to play. And I can remember I used to do a bit of that strapping as well, shoulder there, and of course very important to get make sure you're ready for the game, and a little bit of rubbing there going on. Let's have a look here at the South Slogan side. It's a good outfit, but they'll have their work cut out today. Corey Thompson there at fullback. Mitch Cronin, the young kid on the wing, who scored 3 tries. Wade Liddell, the experienced man, on the other wing. Drew Lowe and Max McCeasy on one centre position. Cronin and Phil Dennis, he'll play halfback to start the game. Reece Phillips comes in at lock forward, and then Nichols. Edwards comes off the bench. Appleton, Ioane and Travis Waddell, as I mentioned. It's a good outfit, but I'm really looking forward to today's game, Warren. Redcliffe have been right up there all season, lost their last 3, so the wheels are wobbling.
They are, David, and it's a real concern for the Dolphins, isn't it, to lose those last 3 games. Admittedly, they've been against top 6 contending teams, and they've been narrow losses, but it's 3 losses in a row. And it's remarkable, if you go back to the last few seasons, where, of course, Redcliffe have missed the finals the last 2 years, they have only won, since round 16, in the last 3 seasons, they've only won 1 out of 17 games. It's an incredible statistic, one I can barely believe, but our statistician, Brad Talon, has pulled it out of the hat, and it must be worrying Redcliffe, to be honest. on the slide at this point of the season. However, if we go back to round 15 this season, they were on the end of a 5-game winning streak, and this was against the Sunshine Coast. Sliney makes a break downfield after good work infield by Butterfield and Bond. Sliney sends Georgetown away for his one of many tries this season for Liam Georgetown. Butterfield again serves it up. Ryan Carr, inside pass for Joe Bond, and he breaks the break. Geese backs up. Troy Geese is there in support, as he always is, and that was a very well orchestrated try. That was in the earlier game the week before against Burleigh, as is this one. Carr puts up a bomb. Ryan Carr is an important player for them, and it's taken by Sliney for the try. This try, it's Carr again working with a Sliney. Sliney makes the half bust. Nice inside ball. Paul Ivan scores the try. So 4 good tries, and that shows what Redcliffe can do at their best. But unfortunately, that was at the end of 5 winning games, and now they've put 3 losses back to back. Here they are in the dressing room getting ready for what they know is going to be an intense struggle to go against South Logan. And just about ready. Liam Georgetown, well, a key figure, both scoring tries and kicking goals. The lineup. Joe Bond is moving to fullback to start the game. He'll be wearing number 6. Mitch Rivette on one wing, Liam Georgetown on the other. Paul Ivan and Marty Hatfield are the centres. Justin Hunt, we're told, will start the game at 5'8". He's wearing number 1, usually plays at fullback. Ryan Carr is the halfback. James Ackerman at lock forward, Nick Sliney and Troy Geese are the second rowers, Chris Farrell and Greg Burns. Greg Burns coming into the side today in the front row, and Alan Helsinger is the hooker. Number 17 is Tom Butterfield. He's back from an elbow injury, and he'll be starting on the bench today. Look, it's very likely these two teams will finish 3rd and 4th in the competition. The important question is who is going to be 3rd? Who's going to be in the top 3? That gives you home ground advantage in the finals. It's also about psychological advantage going into those finals over the opposition today, and also about winning momentum going into the finals. A lot of reasons to win this game.
Tails. And the 2 captains with referee Chris Butler sorting things out, and Chris Farrell, the Redcliffe captain, winning the toss, and they'll be attacking the left of screen in the first half. And there's the old home of the Broncos, the 1982 venue for the Commonwealth Games, the QE2 Stadium, and here we are next to Archerfield Airport at the South's Acacia Ridge Juniors ground. But with the Saturday festivities at Davies Park, we come out here for the TV games for the Magpies, and you see a few rugs around over the knees there. It was pretty warm when I left home. It's got a bit chilly.
Bit of a breeze, Quinton, and a bit of a southerly, so I guess that's why it's got a little bit of a chill about it. But some people feel it more than others. There's short sleeves and long sleeves, and obviously all the kids pretty well rugged up. It should be a good match this afternoon. Redcliffe, as we've said, have been really struggling last 3 weeks. 2 one-point losses, then the upset loss. Didn't score a point at Dolphin Oval last week. First time in 26 years. I wouldn't have thought they'd ever not scored a point at Dolphin Oval, and there's an indication of...
I don't think it's that cold, though, as a plane goes overhead.
But it shows off the red blanket, so, you know.
And here comes the bandaged skipper of the Redcliffe Dolphins, Chris Farrell, this mighty team from the peninsula, getting a bit of stick from the South's lower grade players. And Chris Farrell talking about the fact that it's been 3 rounds since the Dolphins have been able to taste a win.
South's always a tough game. They've got a big physical pack and some good outside backs, but you know, we've been unlucky the last a few weeks ago. We only lost by 1 point each time, and we've been in the game every week. And you know, last week we competed real well and we defended real well, so we're happy where we're heading.
And now the Magpies, led on to Brandon Park by Phil Dennis, playing the number 13 jumper, but has been named to start at half today. And I was speaking to him just before the game, and suggested it's a big test for his team today.
Well, mate, it's a big match for us today. They're sitting on the same points as us, so it's going to be a test, but hopefully we can get away with a win.
And you've won 6 in a row. Well, what's been the key to your good form?
Just our defence. Our attacks come off the back of a defence, and if we can keep plugging away, we'll get there.
So a few of the thoughts from the captains. Chris Butler in his 39th Queensland Cup game, and Tony Maxsood keeping an eye on things in the tent, our video referee today. 3rd versus 4th. A team that's won that's past 6 against a team that's lost its past 3. Interesting story to unfold in the next couple of hours here. Hope you can enjoy it with us as the referee gets the game underway. Redcliffe with first possession, and Hunt takes it, and Farrell with the first hit up of the game. And it will be interesting to see the battle up front today. This Redcliffe team known for its strong pack over the years as Burns takes the second hit up, but there's Geese on tackle 3. That stat that Warren gave in the opener that Brad supplied is quite extraordinary. Lost 14, won 1, drawn 2 in round 16 onwards from 2009, 2010 and including this year.
Yeah, it's an interesting stat, but Redcliffe will be keen to reverse that. They've had a very good year, but they've just hit a bit of a dud spot.
Carr with the kick.
Interesting, Quentin, though, there's been a positional switch. Corey Thompson's playing right wing, and there's young Mitch Cronin playing at fullback for South Logan.
So Cronin with the footy about 20 metres from his own line. That breeze is into our face a little here, Warren. And on the airport wing, how does it feel down at ground level?
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Quentin. And it has cooled down. The sun's gone behind the clouds. The breeze has picked up, but it's blowing across the field from east to west. I think just a touch behind South Logan in the first half. And I've got to say, over near the Magpies dressing room just before the game, there was a lot of nervous energy. There's a real edge to this game today for the South Logan crowd behind their team.
So Ioane plays the football, and the Magpies almost back to halfway on tackle 5. Last play off the boot of Ben Cronin downfield, and Georgetown takes it deep in his right corner. Oh, almost stepped past there. That was a nice little shimmy, but Mark Nichols able to make the tackle.
Okay, let's see if Redcliffe can keep this steady start going as Marty Hatfield brings it up from the right centre position, but plenty of defence there to stop him in his tracks. Plenty of strong defence from South Logan. As we've said, they are well renowned. There's Rez Phillips was one of the players in there to make sure they put it to the opposition. Here's Bond now, throws a bit of a dummy, cut down in good cover defence though by Phil Dennis, also assisted by Corey Thompson. In a dummy half, Troy Geese up there to Carr. Back on the inside. No, he put it on the outside, did well, put it up there to Burns. Last tackle play, so they've done well to get it to their opponents. 40 allows them to put a testing little kick in, little crossfield, just wanting to find the turf, and they did. Picked up there by Corey Thompson, and a pretty good chase line, although Thompson asked an early question of it. Dennis has to drop into dummy half. The big centre in Makisi, he's hit with everything. What a story is. Tongan International turned up at South Logan about a month or so ago and has ridden a rocket into first grade. And the actual contest between these two centres, Paul Ivan and Makisi, the opposing centres on this side of the field, two giants of centres. Run out of dummy half there by Travis Waddell. Does pretty well to pick up a few extra metres, and Farrell won't let him go. Does well to drag him to ground. Going to go left side, bit of pressure on here. Does get a good kick away there by Ben Cronin, and taken comfortably there by Joe Bond, as we've said, and he pops it up there to River. Punishing defence, some of the best hits we've seen already in this game. Just shows you this is for third spot, and there's plenty on the line. And when there's plenty on the line, bang, what a tackle there by Ioane, Mark Ioane.
Oh, and another piece of defence that dislodges the football. Terrific hitting from the Magpies, and they've got a chance to attack because of it.
That would have dislodged a few ribs as well, I think.
Here goes Ioane. Oh, and Farrell wants to get back in his face.
His brother Digby would be pretty happy with the way young Mark's going.
Rez Phillips. Only about 15 metres out centre park as Burns races back into the defensive line. Dennis orchestrating, pops it up, and the pass goes out to Makisi. Has he got over? He has! Oh, I thought he was going to be held up short of the line, but he stretched out at the last moment and scores the try. And that's got the locals happy. Some punishing defence, winning a turnover, and they get some points because of it.
Oh, good effort to score it as well. Phil Dennis, second man play, back to the young kid, Mitch Cronin, and he just held the pass up nicely to give a little bit of room for Makisi. Looked like three players might stop him, but nice work from the kid. Just paused the pass for a moment And then McKesey, plenty of power. There's the Tongan international, as we've said. Just watch the kid here, Mitch Cronin, just held the pass nicely, which allowed McKesey to run back infield, and the defenders then were grabbing at him. They would have thought they had a good chance of stopping him because they had numbers. But McKesey, first try for South Logan. He is a giant of a man, this guy, and he's going to be a handful. He's going to be 2 handfuls. And can they now convert? Young Ben Cronin now to try and convert.
Breeze is just a bit tricky, so not as easy a kick as you'd think. And he's pushed it across the face, so no conversion. But South Logan with the early lead.
Yeah, what an impressive start, and what a shattering start for Redcliffe. You can see Paul Ivan got drawn in, and that just thinned the defence out, and Cronin serves up a lovely pass to McKesey, the 28-year-old who used every inch of his height and reach there to get it to the line. I believe he's been playing in France, has he, David? Don't know what more you know about his background, but he certainly made an impact here already.
Yeah, well, the word is that he was playing. He knocked on the door of South Logan, wanted a bit of a game, so they said not a problem, signed him up for the normal fee, and then played a couple of lower grade games. He was dragged off the field.
Too good.
Well, so they said, well, what am I not doing well? He said, no, we want you in the top grade.
And this is only his 3rd game in the top grade.
Yep.
Must have just made the registration cut off.
They're used to rushing through paperwork at South Logan this year.
Yeah, that's true.
Rez Phillips with the football. About 18 metres his own side of halfway, and just slipped into a knee there and hurt his head. It seems okay.
But gee, there was some intent in those big hits from the Magpies early on, wasn't there? They were some crunching tackles.
Good footy to watch, just I suppose underlines what we've been talking about with the finals now just a month away, and teams knowing that they're playing in finals, they really do lift in intensity. As Phillips on the halfway, the last play goes to the boot, and downfield Cronin puts it pretty much down the throat though of Bond, trying to goose step his way through the defence but can't get through. Just those score lines for Redcliffe in the last couple of weeks, you might think, gee, how could the Dolphins lose 3 in a row this time of year? But they haven't been beaten by any slouches. I mean, it was 14-0 to the Pride last week. The really galling stat there is the fact that they were held scoreless at home, but still the Northern Pride are the reigning champions. 17-16 Mackay beat them in Mackay. And then a triple field goal game with Ipswich beating them 20 points to 19. Bond down the left, almost pushed into touch, has to throw the ball away, and it's been jumped on by Aaron Edwards.
Great defence, Corey Thompson on Bond, put him under pressure, forced the pass.
So inboard comes McKesey. He is an exciting player as we have a look at that nice piece of cover defence there from Corey Thompson. Getting Bond. Now up the middle goes Appleton.
Corey Thompson, South Logan, 20s last year, so they're bringing a lot of good kids through as well as this link with Canberra.
Waddell pops it up. Rez Phillips has been heavily involved early on. He's got another carry forward there. Not gaining a lot of metres, but up for the work. Ben Cronin to the left, and nice defence from the Dolphins there. Tackle made by Hatfield. Now back to Dennis. Out to the right, testing, kick. Thompson flies, goes to dead, and I think it's gone dead.
Yeah, off Redcliffe.
Don't think it was grounded by McKesey.
Aren't they playing well, South Logan? The kick by Phil Dennis, beautifully placed, and Corey Thompson almost got a chance there to knock it backwards, although was it not? No, they decided it was actually put dead by Redcliffe.
Yeah, I think maybe Ryan Carr got the last touch.
One thought that Corey Thompson might have just touched it forward, but the advantage to South Logan and the pressure on the Dolphins. Justin Hunt chips it up into the Ed Dennis. There's Ioane coming off his shoulder. And he's encouraged to take them on, and good body position, was not able to be driven backwards there, which is not a bad effort when you get hit by 3, and he's caused a bit of damage to Troy Geese as well. Up the middle now, Mark Appleton. Canberra 20s last year. So there's some ability in this side, make no mistake. Dennis goes to the line, pops it up there to Ben Cronin. Goes on the outside again, fires it up there to Mark Nichols, I think it is. He keeps it alive as well. Back to Ben Cronin, he's got 3 Cronin. I don't know whether he got that down. That could be a fantastic save by Joe Bond.
Yep. That was a close thing, and Tony Maxsood's being called upon here. Joe Bond getting his body in a great position to make Ben Cronin really work to try and ground the football.
There's a blade of grass in this. Joe Bond went for the footy, which he had to do. And Ben Cronin would have thought for all money he was going to score this.
Well, Cronin's gone to get the footy, so that gives me the impression that he thinks he's got to rush back and play it. Bond around the ball. Oh, gee.
Benefit of the doubt, I think. Got to be a try.
You there, Bucky?
Yeah, mate.
Yeah, that's a try, mate.
Yeah, no worries. Time on.
So Tony Maxud gives the try, and Ben Cronin's 4th try of the season. And South Logan 8-0 through 10 minutes.
Yeah, running some good second man play, and then it was the back rower in Nichols. He comes off Cronin, and then he's able to stand in the tackle. Second phase play, Cronin back ready to take it again. Bit of a dummy, takes Georgetown out of play, and then young Joe Bond, not just strong enough. His intent was good, but his strength wasn't good enough to hold up Ben Cronin. And this has been a terrific start by South Logan. This man calling the shots, that second man play. Cronin, who's done this ball to Mark Nichols on a couple of occasions, and Nichols does well to take the hit, stand and offload. His opposite number, Nick Sliney. He played in the grand final last year with Northern Pride, couldn't hold him. Here's another chance for Ben Cronin to convert now his own try. And he's missed it. Oh, only 8-0 with 2 tries.
Yeah, it followed the Redcliffe dropout. The pressure was on them. Dennis is pointing him in the right direction. He might be wearing number 13, but he's very much playing as a first receiver, and he's got them going left and right. And on this occasion, it's left. He goes to the line. There's a decoy. Good work from Ben Cronin. Slips it away, backs around, looping. And then you'll see Liam Georgetown in defence. He thinks, I've got to go to the winger. But in doing so, he left Ben Cronin open. Joe Bond couldn't stop him. And this is a startling start to this game.
Hunt with the kick-off, and Dennis with a bit of momentum as he gathers the football and runs into Geese. And already the physical battle. South Logan showing that they're well and truly up for it today.
Well, I thought Redcliffe would win the game today, and they still might, but they will be absolutely shocked. Their confidence will be down after 3 straight losses, and they have had their cage rattled here in more ways than one by an upstart South Logan.
Mitch Cronin with that hit up. Here's Rez Phillips involved heavily again. Taken by Sliney and company with Burns. Just gets inside Dolphins territory. Waddell to the left. The kick from Cronin is in behind Georgetown and goes into touch. So scrum for Redcliffe, 20 metres from their own line.
I don't think there's been an error in this game yet, has there? That I can recall. Maybe a couple
from Redcliffe.
Yeah, and well, David, there was the one from Redcliffe when we saw Joe Bond thrown towards the sideline. He threw the loose pass back inside and they turned it over. But in part that was forced on them. That was Philip Dennis, who ran up in defence, put the pressure on Ryan Carr, who threw a loose pass. And even though Joe Bond scooped it up and was on his way towards that sideline, it had broken down. The intent wasn't there, and it was upset by this South Logan defence.
Just on that stat there, the attack number's very similar, but the Redcliffe defence across the season has been 30-odd points better. Hence, they saw another massive hit. Gee, Burns. He was quick to bounce to his feet, and that was Waddell with the crunching tackle there.
It's been Waddell nearly every time, hasn't he? He's playing above his weight.
It's an absolute missile in defence at the moment. Here goes Farrell. He's happy enough to go right up the middle.
There's a jolt in that tackle too.
Oh, this is highly entertaining stuff. Helsinger out of dummy half. Links with Burns. He gets it alive. Helsinger.
Did you see Rez Phillips go in with the shoulder?
Nichols makes the tackle. Last play for Redcliffe. Blindside they go. The dangerous Hunt has to kick. And taken by Mitch Cronin. And wrapped up. Hardy Hadfield coming through. A nice tackle.
Let's see if South Logan can work it out of there without an error. So they have not made an error. There's Justin Hunt, we said, playing 5'8". This penalty be handy for South. A little bit of
2 goes.
pushing and shoving. Johnny Dixon, I spoke to him before the match, and he remained confident they'd go well today. There's some of the defence by South Logan. The mess, the real essence of good front-on tackling is whether you knock them backwards. Oh!
More hits than the ARIA chart so far in this game.
Mate, there'd be some sore ribs if they keep this up, and some sore shoulders.
And I said Rez Phillips went in with a shoulder. It wasn't a shoulder charge, it was a legitimate tackle. Everything about it looked right. It ended up glancing off, but he really came in driving with the shoulder and the arms following.
Yeah, he was lower grades at South Logan last year, so they're bringing some good kids through this area, which is a great nursery for rugby league. Travis Waddell up there to Rez Phillips. He'll throw a bit of a dummy going himself. Surges forward. There's a difference between these two sides. Souths are going forward all the time. Redcliffe are going backwards. Out this time to McKesey. McKesey again surges forward, stealing metres. Redcliffe aren't in the physical contest, and they normally dominate it. So the boot is on the other foot, and if they don't change the laces, they're going to be in trouble. Up there to the big fellow. Little flick pass out the back to Dennis. Good pass on the outside there to Drury Lowe as well. Shrugs out of a tackle, almost through. Desperate defence in the end there by Ackerman. They're in trouble again here, Redcliffe. They're only hanging on. Little grubber kick through. That's played at. Play on. Dennis has got it back. And they're going to have to withstand another 6. And the way they're playing at the moment, I'm not so sure they can. Pass this time straight up to Appleton. Crashes to the ground. That's better defence by Redcliffe. Travis Waddell, dummies, gets away from a couple of defenders. Knocked down by Mitch Cronin. Just snatched at it. And what a relief, Warren, for Redcliffe there.
Well, you wouldn't have thought the Dolphins could hang on much longer. They'd given away the penalty, then 6 more tackles from the rebound, and if the Magpies maintained possession, Redcliffe would have cracked, no doubt.
So a costly fumble from Mitch Cronin. 18th of May, round 8, South Logan, 7-point victors at Dolphin Oval. And overall, it's been a rivalry dominated by the Dolphins at Q Cup level. 29 games played, 21 wins for Redcliffe.
Scrum's got to be on this line, fellas.
And just a bit of blood on the right eye of Nick Sliney.
It's almost symbolic of who's losing that physical contest at the moment, that blood on Sliney. But they've got to aim up, haven't they? They just can't get any field position at the moment, Redcliffe. If they can get a bit of field position and then take him on.
Mitch Rivette's got away from a couple, and he's almost to the halfway line, dragged down from behind. And that was a tackle that needed to be made by Waddell. Quick play the ball, though, and it allows Hatfield to jump out of dummy half.
Up now!
Should have made more of it there, that Adam's shot.
Heldsinger links with Burns. First real chance to see what Redcliffe can do with some momentum in the set. Carr. Bond to the left. Rivette, the man that made the break, again beats a tackle. Thompson comes again to get him with some help. 2 tackles left. Carr shows it. Gives it to Burns, who's dumped. Now the last play for the Dolphins. Within scoring range. Who's the architect? Bond it is. Grubbering for the in-goal. Played it by Thompson. I thought he could have let that go dead. He's going to be caught. He's not going to get out of there. Goal line dropout coming up, and I just wonder whether that was the right decision from the 21-year-old Corey Thompson. It seemed that it was going to be too heavy, but you've got to make that decision so quickly.
Well, that's a great set of 6 for Redcliffe. They made the bust from the base of the scrum through Rivet. They went on with the job and grubbered it into the in-goal area. So they've taken it 90 metres, and they're going to get another set of 6.
Well, that was goal, that break from Mitch Rivette from his own end of the field. He's played a couple of games for the Broncos. He's big, he's fast, and just his team needed that.
Good kick down here to Paul Ivan.
And it's Farrell to surge forward again.
Up now, 16!
Interestingly, Souths were about 2-1 on favourites, about $1.50 in the markets before today's game. So yeah, Redcliffe about $2.45 or thereabouts. As Hancock plays the football.
Maybe about 5s at the moment.
Blindside Carr for Ivan running inboard.
But gamble responsibly.
Of course. Heldsinger to Carr. Shows it, gives it. He's dangerous, Hunt. Got it away. Great try, Redcliffe. It's Sliney who scores. Carr, Hunt, Sliney. Oh, what a triumvirate to get the Dolphins' first points of the day.
Yeah, they are dangerous, and they've got their best chance in taking it, and that's a key point there. They could have been down by 3 tries, but instead they pulled it back 1. Nice work by Carr. Up to Justin Hunt, steps through. Beautiful backup. The timing was everything there by Nick Sliney. He realised when Hunt was going to have a go here that he had to go with him. And Hunt, beautiful timing, beautiful pass. Hunt on the way down. Carr, plenty of second-man runners. That just holds the defence for a moment. Then Justin Hunt takes them on. He's going to South Sydney next year. And Nick Sliney backs up beautifully off his shoulder for Redcliffe to get their first points. That'll boost their confidence just a bit. Interesting, they're even standing no more than 10 metres from the conversion here. Normally you've got to be back behind the halfway, but perhaps that's where the message was being conveyed.
Interestingly, just speaking about Justin Hunt, the fullback that's been in the South's colours most regularly of the last couple of years, announced his retirement yesterday, Reece Wesser, so we might see Justin Hunt at NRL level quite quickly in 2012.
Young Merritt might have something to say about that after he's scored a few tries the other night.
Just 5.
Just a handful. But Justin Hunt is definitely an NRL player, and Liam Georgetown now to try and add the extras.
Important kick with Ben Cronin missing his 2, and 2 tries to 1 South Logan, but just the 2 points in it as Georgetown converts for 8-6.
Well, how quickly the game can turn. Rivet makes the break, they force a drop out, and they score a try, and did it well too. Ryan Carr goes across field, and then that step off the right foot just dragged the defence in. The tackle was made, but Sliney flying on the outside, put himself into that space, backed up beautifully. Good try to Redcliffe, and they hit back, and gee, they needed it, but that gives them a lot of heart, and the fact that the first 2 conversions were missed by the Magpies, they've only got a 2-point margin.
Good gainer off the kickoff, almost to the dead ball line, and Farrell chugging it up. And as much as the intensity and the physicality, the points are with the Magpies at the moment, good metres for Georgetown out of dummy half. I've liked the way that Farrell's gone about it. The cap that he's bandaged up, when I did the interview with him, he's got some stitches under a cut in his eye there. But he's a Queensland residence player. He's just, you can just see he's been happy enough. Here he is again. It's going to be a tough day. You're going to go up the middle, and it's August and September, and you win football games in the middle of the park at that time of year. And he's been happy enough to be up for the physical battle as Carr tries to link up on the right. Geese is well read in defence and put down by McKesey right on the halfway line. Carr's kick is the last play. Not much of a kick. Corey Thompson takes it on the right wing. And the set will start about 33 metres from the South Slogan line.
You get about 6.5 out of 10 for that set of 6 there. Could have been a far better kick, Quentin, as you say, at the back end of it, which could have put him in the pocket, but instead, South Slogan to be more than happy to see Rez Phillips taking it up almost to the halfway line on the early tackles.
He's got to have had 10 carries at least already, Rez Phillips.
They've been power carries too, so he'd already be feeling a bit tight. Here's another power carry from a young front rower in Mark Ioane. Both Canberra 20s last year, so only young kids. Pass this time out to the big fella in McKesey. Dane Phillips now out there, the number 7, but he's dropped into dummy half. Last tackle play, so they'll get an attacking kick here. Travis Waddell, high kick. Bond under it, comfortably taken, spins away, and then decides to assess his situation relative to defence. Nice work from Bond. Talking to coach Johnny Dixon before the game, Bond played a lot of fullback play as a young kid, and Justin Hunt basically was brought up as a 6 or a 7, so not foreign to them. And this penalty will give them a saloon passage out of their own territory.
Unforgivable. The captain as well, Dennis the man, giving away the infringement.
And the reason Redcliffe are under pressure was that poor kick by Ryan Carr. He seemed to hit it fat, didn't he? Almost changed his mind or something. He mistimed the kick so badly. That's why they're under pressure. This gives them the chance to escape.
So Hancock's on the field and is thumped into the turf, 30 metres or so from the try line. Helsinger to the blind, Geese.
Part of a set piece if you punch a blindside on your second tackle there. Let's see what they've got in store now.
Back to the open. Carr for Farrell. Met by Edwards over the top and Dennis underneath. Helsinger again onto Hancock, and now Rez Phillips making the tackle on Watkins, who's on the field. Another plane surging overhead from the nearby airfield. Farrell well taken by his fellow captain Dennis in defence on 5. Last play. Helsinger to the right. Carr, Grubbers. Hunt was put down off the play there and taken into the in goal as Wade Liddell.
He attacked the footy. He's trying to say that he actually did get it out of the in goal area. He did attack it well, but slipped.
Just didn't get his ball-carrying arm to ground in the field of play.
They grabbed his jersey and held him up, so good work there by Redcliffe, and more pressure now coming on South Slogan. Redcliffe look they don't look so good coming out of their own territory, Redcliffe, but they do look good at this end of the park. Let's see what they can do from here. Charge here, I think that's Hancock. Again, punishing front on defence.
Terrific stuff.
One of the best hits you could possibly see. This time, up there to Watkins. So they settle 2 up. Out of dummy up there goes Helsing. Another fine defensive effort. I think it was Ioane who came in from the inside. This time up the car. Dummying effort up there to Justin Hunt. Outside in play there by Drury Lowe. Nearly took his head off, but he slipped. Maybe it did clip his head. Big effort by Drury Lowe to come from outside in. This was the man who set up the try last time. They were going to give him no room to move.
Well, you may remember it was about 2 months ago that Justin Hunt, he spent some time on the sidelines when Mark Veo just destroyed him in a tackle at Bishop Park. And, oh, gee, that's...
Went a bit wrong too by there, Drew. And then another effort to finish off by Ben Hunt. They want to make sure they put some pressure on this guy.
He is highly lucky that didn't
ugly.
connect. I don't think I think Hunt's hurt because of his leg. I don't know whether the elbow got him. It'd be interesting if we get a really close-up shot, but that's almost a send-off offence if he connects there. That is a shocking piece of defence from Drury Lowe. He's lucky to stay out there, and he's lucky that he missed.
He is lucky he missed, Quinn, but I think it might have been a tackle that went wrong because Hunt slid under him.
Yep.
You know, still, you can't get your elbow near the jaw.
Singer again, gone dead.
But you're right, one way or the other, Hunt was certainly stung by it, but the set comes to nothing, unlike the previous set, which forced the dropout.
There it is there.
Yeah, you just can't do that.
That's one of those possible attempted shoulder charges that the timing is totally out and looks extremely bad.
And this time of year, I know Tony Maxud can't hear us, but he's one of the coaches of the referees, but it's those types of things where referees need to have courage. If that happens in a game this time of year, I mean, you just can't stay on the field.
If he'd have connected, he would have been in the dressing room, I'm sure. Ioane.
At any time of year, but in particular, the referees have got to have the courage to enforce that rule in the big games when it counts, when the pressure's on.
This time up there to Dane Phillips, little chip over the top. It'd be a good pressure kick. He's put it in behind Bond. This will force Bond to play it, I think. And he just...
well done.
He shadows it nicely and doesn't touch it. So Dane Phillips, good kick, just didn't get the answer that he wanted, but he got the answer that man wanted. Johnny Dixon, the coach of Redcliffe, he'll bring it back to the 20-metre line. And Watkins has been very busy since he's come on, as you'd expect from a fresh man, takes the first hit up.
Dane Phillips tries to whack Watkins' arm to get him loose and then comes back in for more.
Again, just a little blind side there. Hancock's been pretty good. Sorry, that's Geese on that occasion. Here's Hancock. 5 metres his own side of halfway. Bond for Carr. Has a second man runner in Hunt, and he gets up and keeps going, and he's jumped on by Ben Cronin. Well, it's just the same Redcliffe team that started the game. The Dolphins now with a bit of momentum. Sliney trying to wrestle away from Gardell, who's on the ground. Last play coming up. The bomb from Carr.
Good one.
Just holds up a little, and well taken though by Cronin coming across.
Yeah, fine kick and well taken by the young kid in Mitch Cronin. He's been asked to play fullback today, but rock solid at the back. Made one error earlier where he snatched at a pass, but now Redcliffe starting to rush up in their defence. They'll be keen to keep them down this end of the park. Kesey was the one who played it. Up the middle there, Gardell. Travis Waddell kicks early in the tackle count, looking for a 40-20. Over the head of, he's got it. He's got it. The perfect bounce over the head of Mitch Rivette. And Wade Liddell, the man Canberra wanted back after the deal on dual registration had ended. Pretty handy to have him, and he's well inside his 40.
Travis Waddell, they do sound the same, Wade Liddell and Travis Liddell.
Yeah, it's a great 40-20.
Yeah, it was Travis Waddell, not Wade Liddell. Yeah.
Yeah, Mitch Rivette almost touched that. In the end, it didn't matter either way. It was going to be a scrum feed to South Slogan, and they're in a mighty fine position to nail this.
Great 40-20, and Redcliffe with their backs to the wall.
Redcliffe, away from way out,
It'll be a while since South Slogan have had a chance to play a bit of attack footy. And here's their a very good chance. They dropped the ball the last time they were down here 10 minutes ago and let the pressure off. Phillips to feed. Little blindside play through Waddell. Up there to McKesey. Why not? Pats it back then to Waddell. Dances around. Bumps away from a couple. So Redcliffe not making those first up tackles, particularly on McKesey. He's I said before, he's a real handful. Nice run there by Ioane. Hits it up the middle. So that pulls the defence in, although they've got themselves far right of field. It's not easy to go wide from here. They do pretty well though through the hands of Phillips. Out there to Hunt. Second man play out to Wade Liddell. He's in. That's a try. Beautiful hands by Mitch Cronin. That second man play is executed so well. And starting from this right-hand side, I was saying it's not all that easy to get it from one side of the field the other when you're so close to the try line. Phil Dennis out the back, up then to Dane Phillips. Hunt back then to the young kid in Cronin, who face-balled Drury Lowe, and the veteran Wade Liddell in the corner.
Fine piece of football, and just the third try of the year for the 32-year-old, playing his 192nd game of Queensland Cup footy. And for a moment, it was just half a thought that the Mitch Cronin pass may have gone forward, but no, the touch judge was right there. The call was made, and Liddell, 72 career tries, and 3 in 2011 for him.
We saw some great combination the last time we saw South Logan between the Cronin brothers, Ben in the number 6 and Mitch in the number 2. And again, they were side by side in that passing manoeuvre. Well,
this is a really important kick for Ben Cronin. 3 tries to 1, and if he misses this, it's a 12-6 ball game. And the wind's got that. No goal. So 3 tries to 1, but no conversions for Cronin. South Logan 12-6.
Waddell's 40-20 set it up, and this is great football. Stretching it, shifting it from right to left. Dennis, Dane Phillips, Ben Cronin, Mitch Cronin, last pass to Wade Liddell. Scoots over in the corner. Wade Liddell played 8 seasons for the Tigers before switching across to South Logan last year. He would have enjoyed that try.
Mark Beaumont there, he's back to us. Would have to be very, very happy with the way he sides. But Darren Smith in there behind the other side of the tree as well. They have played some good footy today and taken their chances.
Well, Darren Smith, of course, played with Wade Liddell at Easts.
Yes.
Going back to Langlands Park in the last part of his playing career, Darren Smith played in that memorable extra time grand final, I think, both players against Burleigh.
Steve Renoff played that day too, as I recall.
Got severely hurt, unfortunately.
As he recalls.
Off the ball!
So the Magpies with the footy through the services of Gardell. Now it's the captain, Dennis. Hancock with the first hit. Got some help from Ma to complete the tackle. Waddell. Again, it's Gardell. Liddell, Waddell, Gardell. Just as well, Wendell's not playing, then we'd have the big Dell as well.
2 Phillips and 2 Cronins. South Logan as well.
Long kick goes dead downfield. Joe Bond's pretty cool back there. Letting it pitch and roll beyond the dead ball line back for the 20-metre optional restart.
Good play that, because it now allows Redcliffe to get a very good chance to get out of their own territory comfortably.
Hancock with the footy. So work to the right-hand side, and that's a good run from that's Hatfield out there. No, Slidey it is. Now Ma goes forward. The Dolphins making a bit of meterage upfield. Watkins taken by Waddell and Dennis. And this has been a pretty good set so far. 2 tackles left in it. Butterfield out of dummy half and loses the ball. And is that play on? No. Georgetown picked it up and was away, but back with the knock on from Tom Butterfield.
Yeah, he had thoughts of offloading once he got into a bit of space, but the defence ultimately shut him down, so some more strong defence.
Well, I just see he was carrying the ball in the right arm there, and you see his elbow is heavily strapped. He's back into the team, having had some time out with an elbow injury.
This is from behind, so the ball was...
Semi-attempted strip there by Mark Nichols. I think it had something to do with the ball coming loose, David.
Yep, first man in, so he wasn't penalised, but it could have been debatable whether he knocked it forward. Have a look at that. South Logan, near perfection. Redcliffe, pretty good, but 14 sets instead of 9 from Redcliffe. So domination in possession and almost perfection in how they've handled it. There's only been that one drop ball, and Redcliffe starting to fire up a bit. They realise are so important in the overall context of this game. That's better from the Dolphins. You can see this is a playoff for third spot. And 12-6 the scoreline, as we said, but 3 tries to nil by South Logan. Phil Dennis decides to take it forward. Waddell, he's got to be offside the marker. You cannot jump out that quickly. I think it was Adam, no, it might have been Watkins, was it?
Yep.
Watkins, and just overly keen.
Exacerbated by the fact Phil Dennis moved forward, but yeah, I guess you can't argue with that penalty.
And a little bit to the side too. I thought Phil Dennis stepped to the right, which made it even look worse. But
I think Watkins moved a fraction early. If he'd stayed in his position, then he might have ended up getting the penalty.
It was almost that because Dennis was moving forward, Watkins couldn't set himself directly in front of the tackled player, and hence it was seen that he was even more so on that right-hand side as he jumped out to try and make that tackle. But it's given South Logan another good chance to put on another try here. Gardell's done his bits. He's coming on, but he's lost the football here. One-on-one strip from Sliney. Great work.
Travis Waddell in quite a bit of trouble too. He's hobbling pretty badly, the number 9 for South Logan.
Butterfield to the right. Watkins, let's just have another look at that. Sliney, one-on-one. Thank you.
Well done.
I'll have that. And it's got his team off the hook a little bit. Mark. Butterfield inboard for Carr. Holds it up for Geese, and he keeps it alive. Butterfield. Waddell's got him.
Not bad for a guy who was limping a little while ago. Waddell, well done.
Georgetown at dummy half. Almost behind Watkins, who did well to take. That was a high pass. Again, multiple numbers in the tackle, but Ben Cronin, the main man there, to make the tackle on halfway last play here for the Dolphins. It's a Carr kick, a bit of an inside-out kick to the attacking right side. The chase is not all that prominent. Cronin's got it. That's Mitch for South Logan, and he's smashed. Butterfield underneath.
There's a time and place for those Quinn, for those banana kicks, and I don't think that was one of them. You weren't going to trick too many people by trying to kick it off the outside of your foot.
Any kick is no good if you don't have the men chasing it.
Yeah, and you can get a lot more precision and distance on your kicking without the banana trickery.
And you mentioned both Ryan Carr and Justin Hunt on their way to South Sydney. And Ryan Carr, well, South Sydney will need a new halfback. Chris Soundale leaving them for Parramatta next year. So Ryan Carr's kicking game is going to have to be sharper than that.
Yeah, he originally came up from Balmain this year. Dane Phillips going to look for a bit of territory as well. Was it inside the 40?
Yep.
Rivet going to cover this one without any problems. He doesn't get the horror bounce there. And Mitch Rivet, who made that terrific bust earlier in the game to basically set a platform for Redcliffe's first try. Up there to Justin Hunt, gets it as a standing start, and that probably negates his potency. Marty Hatfield that is, and he's gently placed to the ground after being lifted. A really thoughtful process there. The middle there goes Hancock. Carr, and we were just talking about, throws the dummy, goes himself, but Waddell covers him pretty comfortably. Last tackle play. Hunt's going to be called on to do the kicking off the side of the boot. Going to put a bit of pressure on the young kid in Mitchie Cronin, but he does well. Hatfield through quickly to cut him to ground.
Liddell jumps into dummy half, and important minutes here before half-time. South Logan really should be further in front. 3 tries to 1, but well, the scoreboard is what the scoreboard is, as Marquisi is met solidly in defence there. Marquisi scoring the first try of the day. Dennis Little pop ball, and it's been lost.
Stripped.
2-on-1 strip.
Gee whiz, that's, I didn't think he had a real good handle on that. Admittedly, there were arms around. Let's have another look.
Well, Hancock was the first man. Watkins coming in.
That's a tough call, that.
And Appleton, well, let go at the right time. Have another look, yeah.
So there's the one-on-one tackle. And the action of making the tackle, I reckon the ball's all but gone. Tough to get a penalty for that. All those guys were doing was their job. That was not a blatant strip.
Well, it was from one man, but was the second man there in time?
Which is legal, you know. They were just making the tackle.
Anyway, the Magpies now with 2 minutes left on the clock get another crack at the Dolphins line. And Gardell's been prominent since coming on off the bench. Here's Waddell, and now Appleton. 22 metres out. Waddell to the right. Phillips. Francis. Dashay couldn't get much dash it there. No momentum for him as he's cut down. Back to the open left. The skipper. Nice pass. Ben Cronin. Put down only metres from the line. 2 tackles left. This would be a telling blow close to half-time if the Maggies could score. Dennis to Phillips. Out there to Francis, who's very well tackled by Carr underneath.
Held it well too.
And had some help over the top. Last play off the post. Oh, and this is always a devilish one, but well cleaned up by the Dolphins. Bond with the gather, and close to half-time that... I don't think it's going to be such a costly dropout to concede, but Bond doing a really good job there.
Well done. The kick intentionally aimed at the posts, and Redcliffe will take all their time. Field goal is always a good option straight from this if you've got somebody who can drill one.
Or kick wide then. Kick to the touchline.
Perhaps just take 1 or 2 rucks to the middle and take a point. Second goal line dropout for each of the sides, so that's an indication of the stand of the footy and the pressure that's been put on. Dane Phillips just gets a hold of it. Up there to Gardell. He takes it forward. What are we up to? 12 seconds.
Dennis is calling for it in the middle.
Dennis in the middle. He's going to keep it moving. On the outside then to Ben Cronin. They're going to run it. Out there to Mitch Cronin. Pass on the outside to Drury Lowe. Little grubber kick through. That's play on. And still play on. That's a try.
Has he grounded it?
I think if he has, it's a dead set try, because I don't think he was offside. Mitch Cronin, forget the 1 point. We'll score him in 4s. Little grubber kick by Drury Lowe as they back themselves to go wide. Phil Dennis has been terrific in terms of directing the side around the park. And I think Mitch Cronin handled twice in this play.
Well, it's going to be quite the assessment required from Tony Maxud. So onside.
Onside.
Yep.
And that was a key point.
I don't know whether there was an accidental offside at some point in time here. Liddell going through. Was there a South's hand in here? No. Off the knee of Georgetown. Now the grounding. That seems okay. That looks like a try.
4 tries to 1 in the first half for South Slogan. And they backed themselves. They didn't need any more than about 45 seconds to score this. Liam Georgetown probably thought he'd put it dead at that stage, and there is categorically grounded by Mitch Cronin.
Chris, everything's good, mate. That's a try.
Sorry, what was that?
Everything's good. It's a try.
Right, time's on, try.
What a strike from the Magpies with the last play of the first half. 16 points to 6, conversion to come. And Dennis, I said he was mid-park there. I thought he was setting up for a shot at field goal, but he marshalled his troops out to the left. A little fortuitous, the bounce of the ball. But, well, Bond really needed to take the responsibility there. Georgetown was in control of this football until Bond got in his way.
Savage bounce, I think, got Bond in trouble. Well, not so much the bounce.
No, that's just a poor attempt to ground the football. You're being generous, David. Bond should have grounded the football.
He was probably late on the scene was his problem. He was still coming across.
First. How could he got there first?
No, he got there first, but he didn't have full control. He was still in a sliding motion. And
but if you make the commitment as the covering man, here's the conversion attempt. He's missed it. So none from 4 from Ben Cronin, I suppose. It wasn't Ben Cronin, it was Waddell who had that shot. We just didn't see it, but Waddell misses. 16-6 half-time. I suppose, yeah, Georgetown was in control of Liddell behind him, and really was only created once Bond mucked up the grounding. Anyway, interesting half of footy. Try, 16-6, half time, and today's host club, South Logan, have won just one Q Cup in their only grand final back in 2008, but in the early 80s, they played back-to-back BRL grand finals. Listen to the names: Billy Johnston, Brad Sully, Dave Brown, Brad Tessman, Bruce Astle, and a 20-year-old Mal Meninga. And they met Norths at Lang Park in the 1980 decider.
The Magpies Souths are all the rage to win their first grand final since 1953. Meninga, still only 20 years of age, now tips the scales at 15 stone 3, and at 6'2", he has all the skills of a player destined to play for Australia in the near future. Souths running from the northern end of the ground. Norths had won the toss, and so the ball goes deep into Norths territory. Norths running with the breeze, and Naylor stopped very quickly by Bernard. And a bit of a scuffle in there, loose ball as Campbell Hughes flies in, and for the opening of the match, tempers really at knife edge. That was something of a blow-up. Well, let's hope the game settles down from here on, but certainly a fiery start as Campbell Hughes takes it up, and he certainly stopped in his tracks then as Dave Brown was the main tackler in there for South, and now Canescu. Canescu making good ground up the middle. Look at Canescu, about 7 or 8 metres, a good run indeed. Warnock with the breeze behind him with his penalty kick. And raises the flags, and North hit the front, leading Souths 2-0.
North use it as yet.
And Sully has it for South. There's the fullback Glynn, and he's kicking against the breeze and racing through. Comes dropping back is Graham. Look at the wingers fly through. Thompson is there, and Norths are forced to save. The powerful George takes some stopping, doesn't he? And still, eventually it's a penalty. South in front, an arm up in the tackle against Shane Bernarden. Mal Meninga taking this penalty kick, 10 metres in from touch, kicking into the breeze. There it goes. It's a good kick from Meninga all the way, and it's 2-2 after 11 minutes. Comes to the 5'8", and then outside to Kilroy. Kilroy bursting through, and look at a fullback fly. He's back inside, wrapped up, bounces away from a tackle, but knocked off balance. But a great burst from the fullback Kilroy, and just stopped by the fullback who got to him. And there's the kick ahead, or the field goal attempt from Henrik, hitting that crossbar and bouncing back, or the upright, and Mal Meninga has it for South, and Meninga is up to the quarter line. Morocco, some good ball work up towards halfway and slipping it back to Meninga. Meninga away beautifully then to the halfback Sully, and Sully makes good ground. South's about 12 metres inside North's territory. That's Bird from the right wing for Norths, and chopping through. Bird racing through. Look at the gap he's made up to the quarter line. He's trying to link up with support. Bird in a great run, looks it back inside. It comes on to Warnock, and Warnock stopped only a couple of metres out. 2-2 after 20 minutes of play. And it's a penalty
Against Dave Brown, lying on Bernarden on the ground.
Gary Warnock attempts his penalty kick right in front after 21 minutes of play. It's 2-2, and Norths now lead by 4 points to 2. Across to Bernarden, then to Graham, switching it across then to the halfback. Further across then as it goes astray, but there's some luck for Norths as it goes on to Draper. Further back to Dunn, the big centre's over the quarter line, and running strongly, Brian Dunn turns it back again to halfback, and Henrik races for the line and puts the ball down. The first try to Norths, and they lead 7-2. Here's Mark Graham, and slipping it away quickly to Kilroy. Kilroy breaks through and flies and gets it back inside again. Bird, and Bird stopped Dunny offside. And let's get on with the game. Out it comes now to Sully. Further across to Lumbey. South running hot now to Meninga. Meninga pops, comes back inside. Beats one tackle. Meninga flies to the line. Meninga's over. A great try to Mal Meninga. And Norths leads 7-5. Mal Meninga attempting to convert his own try. And there it goes. A great kick at 7-all.
Two teams locked together at the moment. Back over to Meninga. He's going to put the boot underneath it. Well, if Joe Kilroy likes the boot to come down at him, well, he's away. If he wants to have a bit of a run, here's the chance. Back into his own quarter, rather. Now turns around, starts to go up the centre. Run he's doing. He's up over the halfway mark. He's still going. He's coming up to Glenn. Gets it away over there this time too. Done, and he's stretching out and going for the line, and he's over. Nice piece of work. And now Gary Warnock's on his way. Let's see what he can do with this one. He's put it over. Nice kick by Warnock. Dummy half is Gary Thompson. Over this time to Morocco. Steps out of one tackle. Got it away over this time to Johnston. Johnston upended by Kilroy. Kilroy coming over the top. No chance of getting the pass away, but the pressure's still on. Morocco to Dave Brown. He got the pass back to Morocco. Morocco's going for the line. He's over. George Morocco in. Final tackle coming up. Bernarden's dummy half. Wobble North do on this occasion. Henrik, will he have a little kick? Yes, he does. And up and under. There's the bomb. Let's see what happened with it. Not a bad one. Coming away with it was Dutton. Lost flies through the air. Dived out. No try. Henrik. Murray. Graham gets it away this time to Dutton on the burst. Lost his footing. Can he get it? Oh, he props. He cuts back inside. It's a try. Oh, the defence kept going the other way. Here's a kick by Warnock and it's there. Good goes. Thompson back over there to Phelan. Morocco to Lumbey. Long one over the top to Keeley coming into it. He sends it back inside to Astle. Astle got away from Dunn. Still going as Astle looking for support. There's Brad Tessman onto it. Tessman will get away to Mickey Graham. Comes up to Warnock. Grabbed by Murray. Got it back over there this time to Keeley. Keeley, oh, if it had been able to get it to Morocco, but he gets it to Astle. Astle exploding for the line, but is pulled down just short of it. About to play it. Dumbing half is Lumbey. Final tackle on the way. Ball knocked everywhere. Penalty to South. Now he takes a tap. Picked up by Morocco. Over to Lumbey. Got it away to Johnston. There's the gap. He stepped back inside. He's over beside the post. Billy Johnston beside the post. The kick by Meninga. 17 to 15. Northern Suburbs are leading Souths. Penalty coming up to Souths. Meninga to kick for touch. You know, he's not. He's got to take the tap. Now he puts a little kick. That's adventurous. Follows out after it. Takes it. That was adventurous. Here's Meninga. He's going to kick it upfield. Oh, he's kicked it out on the full and just as well. And Northern Suburbs have won the 1980 Brisbane Rugby League Grand Final.
It's only 31 years ago. It seems like yesterday, but that was one of the big upsets, Warren. South were red-hot favourites. North's coached by Graham Lowe.
What an entertainer. I know we only saw 5 minutes of highlights there, David, but that game looked fantastic. Some of the big names of the past in action. 3 points for a try, of course, if you're wondering why it didn't add up. Yeah, an exciting game and a memorable game.
And a full house at Lang Park, which was the good old days for the local rugby league. But back to this local rugby league, we've seen a very good match here this afternoon. South Logan have played really what I believe above themselves. Redcliffe would be shell-shocked. They've had 4 tries to 1 scored against them. Still only got a 10-point lead, South Logan, and that might come back to haunt them later on. But they started so well, South Logan, with some good play here. Out the back there to Cronin, out through the hands, a little chip over the top, then picked up by, this is the final try, isn't it? That's the very final try. So if we go back to, this is the final try of the first half. Little Drury Lowe puts this kick through, and this is the try. Couldn't be handled by Bond, and then Mitch Cronin scores that one. But that was the dying minutes of the first half. This is the first try in the first half. Nice work there from Mitch Cronin. Up there to the big fellow in McKesey, and he just gets the ball onto the try line. And he caused a bit of havoc early, Warren.
Look, it was a powerhouse start from South Logan today. I said they were edgy in the dressing room. They were, David, like bulls ready. They were fired up. They were ready to go. They began with some big, powerful hits, dislodged a ball, and Phil Dennis, playing at halfback, serves it up beautifully for Mitch Cronin. Does equally well for McKesey, who's been a revelation in just his 3rd game in the Queensland Cup.
Here's Phil Dennis again. Good little second-man play. Doesn't look like much, but he does hold defenders up, and then Ben Cronin gets it away, pops it up there to Nichols. He does well to stand in the tackle. Back to Ben Cronin, throws the dummy, scoots across in the corner. It was 8-0. They didn't convert either try after 10 minutes.
Well, this combination of Dennis with the 2 Cronins has been very damaging. Nichols giving the offload for that second try, and Phil Dennis hard at work here again. Ben Cronin, to Nichols. Nichols hits them hard. Redcliffe's defence has been bent backwards a number of times. Offloads, and then Georgetown outnumbered. Goes to the wing, but over goes Ben Cronin. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to kick the conversions, and that's why the scores are still close enough. But it's been all South Logan. And David, you're suggesting they're playing above themselves. Well, I'm starting to wonder if this is exactly what they are capable of. I mean, they've won 6 in a row. They beat Ipswich last week. This is a good side.
And they won 8 out of the last 9, so it's no fluke for them. But I did think Redcliffe were going to be the side to beat here this afternoon. Nice play here by Justin Hunt. Takes them on. Nick Sliney backs up in perfect timing. So Redcliffe, if they get their chances, this is what they can do.
Yeah, and Carr works well with Hunt, straightens it up, and on the outside, Sliney comes through. Beautifully done. But the only reason Redcliffe were down this end on the attack was because Mitch Rivett made a break out of his own half. Individual effort. Otherwise, Redcliffe would have been still down the wrong end, being pounded.
Yeah, 8-6 the score at that stage, because Redcliffe did convert. Have a look at this again, though. Phil Dennis, just the easier passes out the back, through the hands of Phillips, and then Cronin, and then a beautiful pass by Mitch Cronin out there to Wade Liddell. He cruises across in the corner, 12-6.
Now, this was after Travis Waddell kicked a 40-20 to the right-hand side. Then they shifted left beautifully through the hands. Dennis, Dane Phillips, Cronin, Mitch Cronin, Ben and Mitch again, and Liddell gets the last pass. Beautifully served up to him as well by Mitch Cronin, and Wade Liddell over in a canter out wide.
Okay, then there was that final try that was scored right on the death at half-time. Here's the stats then from the first half. 16-6, but that's 4 tries to 1.
And straight to completions, 19 out of 21 for the Magpies.
That's super.
And only 11 out of 14. I mean, Redcliffe haven't started enough sets in the game.
Yeah. Redcliffe have got the job in front of them. There's going to be some great action in the second half. Now back to Quentin.
Thanks, David. Not too far away from the second 40. And indeed, it is underway. Chris Butler blows the whistle. South Logan leading by just the 10 points, despite having scored 4 tries to 1 in that first half, as Mark Appleton takes the first hit up of the second 40. Still breezy and overcast here on a day which started with beautiful sunshine. It's a little cooler now as Gardell's taken with the football. And a real question to be asked of the Dolphins in this second half. If they can't turn it around, it will be a 4th consecutive loss for them. If the Magpies go on with it, it's 7 wins in a row for South Logan, as the skipper Dennis plays it just his own side of halfway. Waddell with the kick downfield, taken by Rivett. And let's head into the Redcliffe camp, because the coach John Dixon is sitting alongside Warren Boland.
He is, and John, the Magpies came at you hard early, didn't they?
Yeah, they played really well in that first 40 minutes. It'll be up to us to match that and better that in the second half.
Is that part of what you talked about at half-time, the physical struggle in the forwards?
No, it wasn't that. No, it was more about us getting an opportunity with the footy. I thought, South came hard, but I thought there was some intense defence on both sides of the park, so that wasn't an issue. It was more us getting ball and getting ball in good territory and doing something.
Yeah, well, I guess they dominated in that territory. They had plenty of ball. They were at the right end of the field attacking too often. What's going to turn it around for Redcliffe to be at the right end?
Joey Bond scoring here.
Well, here he is. Good call, Johnny. It's yours. Bond scores. Oh, the coach, he knows the set plays. Joey Bond scores. 16-10. Kick to come.
You might want to take over calling the rest of the game. That was Joe Bond at his best.
Yeah, no, well, see, that's a little bit the parcel that he brings at the back, so with that little shift of Justin and Joey is an experiment for us today, a little bit, if you like.
Let's have another look. Tommy Butterfield out of dummy half. You take us through it.
Well, 2 little blokes having a go, aren't they? 2 little PNG internationals, so that's nice for both of them.
Yeah, and very sharp too. Tom Butterfield just coming back from injury for this game.
Yeah, and again, Tommy's been out. We've missed Tommy. Al Helsinger's done a wonderful job, but in tandem, Tommy and Al are terrific for us. So.
Well, that is a very important try, because it gets you right back in this game on the scoreboard. And look, you're just talking about some aspects of the first half. The kicking game didn't seem to be at its best, particularly from Ryan Carr.
Yeah, well, again, we kicked. That's probably a fair assessment. We need to kick maybe with more efficiency, if you like. He struggled a bit, Ryan, with his kicking legs. So we'll take what he gets and work on the back of that.
Warren, I don't know whether you can hear me, mate, but could you ask John who's going to score the next try?
David Wright just asking who's going to score the next try. But look, that's a very important try, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. No, we're back in the game now, and there's a lot of footy to be played. Yeah. It's been a good game.
It has been a good game, and this is a big one. 3rd versus 4th on the ladder. I mean, both teams must know the importance of winning.
Well, the last game you played, Warren's the one to win.
The last one.
Good on you. All right, mate, so there you go.
Okay, and look, just one more question. Yes. As Liam lands that goal. Last few years, Redcliffe have slumped at the end of the year. Is that a worry for you?
No, this is a footy team that will create its own history, Warren. You can't be looking at history books and stats back and say this, that and something else. This footy team's got 33 minutes to play, and we'll see how we go from there.
You're in this game. Thanks,
John.
We are
indeed. Thanks, Warren.
Johnny Dixon, as ever, great to hear from the coaches. Georgetown 2 from 2. 4 tries to 2, 4 points in the game. 16 points to 12. And a surging run from Adamar on the kick return from the kickoff. Gee, how funny the game of footy can be as Georgetown is wrapped up. Let's get inside the Magpies camp as Mark Beaumont takes position next to Warren Boland.
Mark, you must have been very pleased with that first half. In many ways, it was near perfect.
Yeah, it was. It was a pretty good first half for us. It was just a bit disappointing we come straight out after the break and conceded a try there. But, you know, the first half was, our completion rate was very good, and obviously we managed to score some tries off the back of that.
Didn't convert them, though, which means it's still close.
Yeah, it is. It's a bit of a worry, a bit of a trend for us at the moment, unfortunately.
And a break being made by Redcliffe, but called back here.
Knocked on, Warren.
Knock on called, and yeah, that would have been very dangerous. You need to quickly patch up these holes early on now.
Yeah, it's a bit disappointing. I don't know what's happened there. Obviously, we've we talked it all about really well in the dressing sheds, but then haven't come out and executed it really well. So hopefully we can fix up our defence and get back into the game.
From the outset, I noticed how physical and how energetic your team were today. Were they really revved up for a big performance?
Oh yeah, it's an important game for us. The winner of this goes to outright third in the competition. With only 3 weeks to go, so there's a big prize at the end of today. So our boys are obviously determined, and they want to obviously get a piece of that.
Both teams have made a few late positional changes coming into the game. They've swapped their fullback and 5/8 around. You've made changes as well. What's behind your changes, particularly in that back line?
Yeah, it's just obviously, to get Phil out on the field. Phil Dennis is obviously very experienced for us, and, we probably play better footy with him out there and controlling us in what we do. So that was the move, was to start and Phil at 6, and, just there was a bit more stability.
I'll let you go. Thank you.
No worries. Thanks, Warren.
Thanks, Mark. Thanks, Warren. And Mark Nichols with the football for the Magpies, who are in good position to strike back here. Here's Dennis with the football, running at the line. Got the pass away to Phillips, who is ankle tapped by Butterfield. I think that elbow's still hurting Butterfield. He doesn't look 100% fit. Anyway, last play here. The kick cross field from Ben Cronin is well taken by Georgetown, and he's away and has got support, but it's been left behind by Hatfield. And into touch it goes. I think it was knocked on from Redcliffe originally.
Wow, what an attempted counter-attack there by Redcliffe. Great work, Georgetown, to come forward and attack it, because it wasn't a really well-placed kick. It put the defenders under pressure more so, or his own attacking side under pressure more so than the defence. And this will give a terrific chance for South Logan to perhaps answer quickly the challenge, the gauntlet that's been thrown down by the Dolphins. 4 points in this game, and yet South Logan have
nice to tie, Redcliffe. I'll give you the call.
Scored 4 tries. Well, now 4 tries to 2. Ben Cronin to feed. Good chance for South Logan to show us what they can do. Wardell works out of the base of the scrum. Does do that very well, as he often comes to players and is able to just push himself back and get away from them. Travis Waddell to play it. Pass up there to Gardell. He just settles one. Let's see what they can establish here. And Phil Dennis has been the playmaker. He just feeds that ball. Danefield, it's a bit of a dummy. Pass up there to Mitch Cronin. Does well to get it on the outside. Puts a kick through. And quickly back there, Rivette to knock it dead. So he did well to turn and chase.
Kick on tackle 3 there as well. Cronin seeing the opportunity, and well, not such a bad tactic when you get the ball back from the dropout.
And a good skill too. It was a good kick because it forced Rivette to take it on. Don't you love the exuberance of youth and the confidence? It's on. I'll put it on. Doesn't matter if it's the 3rd tackle or the 1st or the 5th. And has put more pressure back on Redcliffe. We've had quite a few goal line dropouts today, which is a good indication of often the standard of play, which means sides are going for the pressure play.
It's going to be Appleton with the charge at the line. And another chance for the Magpies to get into the in-goal. Waddell, that's a terrible pass. Directing traffic to the right, and Mitch Cronin, should I say, Dashay Francis couldn't pick up that pass, but wasn't really his fault.
No, far from his fault. That's a terrible pass, Waddell.
Oh. Well, he did get 2 hands to it, but still. That's one of those 80-20s, I think.
Out of character too, because Travis Waddell's service from dummy half in the first half was excellent.
This is one thing, mate. Wait till I take it.
Take some heat off the Dolphins.
Massive
nice
lead
and tight, South.
Haven't made too many errors, South Logan, but that one was just totally unforced. They were in the driver's seat. Like Sliney running out of the base of the scrum. And it was. Watkins plays above his weight. Played for the Bronx and North Queensland. It was actually Adam Marr, run out of dummy half now, almost up to the halfway line, but stopped, didn't get over the halfway line. Up there to Ryan Carr, pass on the outside of Paul Ivan. The big fella hasn't had a lot of opportunity with the footy, and they managed to bring him down after he works another 10 metres out of that play. Carr throws the dummy himself, goes nowhere to go though. Waddell right in his face, and a hand on the ball has brought about this time another opportunity for Redcliffe to launch the attack. There's Waddell, who's probably a victim of his positioning more than the raking action.
And on another matter, you're not seeing double, and no, Heldsinger and Butterfield haven't changed jumpers. They both wear headgear and they've both got their elbows heavily strapped.
And they both from time to time play at dummy half.
Both at dummy half, yep. Here goes Marr. And 20 metres from the South Slogan line, Heldsinger for Geese. Well met by Dennis. Got some help from Waddell. Heldsinger back to the blind side. Little flat-footed was Watkins, but three Magpies have to work hard to get him to ground.
Waddell in there again, his tackle count to be up.
Blindside again, Heldsinger. Here goes Hancock, keeps it alive. Heldsinger, Watkins, stopped. A couple of metres short. This could tie things up if the Dolphins score here. Carr, Hunt, falls over as he gets the pass away to Hatfield. Got too easily away from Lowe. Inboard back to Hunt. Carr through a hole. Keeps it alive. And picked up though by Phillips. What's the referee going to find here?
Knock on South Slogan, is it?
Yes, I think that's the...
That's a big call.
It is a Redcliffe scrum. I'll have to have a look at the replay to try and dissect this.
The ball went on the deck and there was a bit of arms grabbing at it. Let's have a look. And yeah, knocked it on.
Mate, we just couldn't see because of
Phillips.
Joe Bond's back, but yeah, it was a double grab there from Phillips trying to get the footy.
3 in a row chances for Redcliffe now. The error, the original error, the penalty, and now another error at the back end of the tackle count. Great chance for the Dolphins to hit the front after they were dominated in the first half.
Ball in now.
Hunt to feed. Back this blindside up there to Liam Georgetown. Big ask for him to score from there, but perhaps that's just a positional play. Drag a few players to the right-hand side. Up there to Nick Sliney. He'll settle. They've set very nicely on the left-hand side with a double line of attack. Let's see if they can use it. You'll see plenty of dummy runners. Up to Justin Hunt. Dummy 1, dummy 2, dummy 3. Up there to Ryan Carr. Throws a dummy on the outside. Beautiful work, Revette. Well, that's how you do it. That's how you play modern rugby league. You punch a couple to the right-hand side to just hold play the ball there. The first run from the base of the scrum was just to set up a play. Sliney took another one, and then the double line of attack with plenty of dummy runners. Justin Hunt fires a pass up there to Ryan Carr. Dummy on the inside, back through the hands of Paul Ivan on the outside to Revette. That is a coach's try if you've ever seen one, to perfection.
It's testament to the standard of the Queensland Cup to see a set play. I mean, that is as good as you'll see in the NRL, the English Super League, anywhere. That is just a professional rugby league try that had to be coached and trained and worked, and it just worked well for Mitch Revette, his 16th career try and 3rd of the year.
There was upwards of perhaps 10 players involved in that play, but only about 4 or 5 of them touched the ball.
A purist's try.
Well and truly. And Johnny Dixon, he'd be glowing at the moment to see that, as the players would be. That is just like a surgeon getting the scalpel out and saying, we're going to dissect this defence and we're going to find a hole. They've done it.
And David, as you pointed out, it was South Slogan causing their own troubles. There was that bad pass from dummy half by Travis Waddell. Then they gave away the penalty. Probably a little controversial. That strip against Waddell might have been equal and opposite forces. Bit unlucky. And then the Phillips knock on under their post. Again, a little bit unlucky, but it meant they were doing a lot of tackling.
Just 3 tries from Redcliffe to the 4 from South Logan, but this for the lead for Liam Georgetown from Hart out on the left wing. And the wind's got it, has it? No! Whoa! No! A 2-poster, but back into the field of play, no goal, 16 all.
What a great try it was, and talk about you've just got to squeeze the defence to find the opening somewhere, and they've done it perfectly. Hunt, Carr, Ivan with the dummy over the final pass to Rivet, And Georgetown, how close? Off the upright first of all to the crossbar, and it goes the wrong way.
16 all in this battle for third place. And just back to you, Warren, is the wind changing a little? I think there's a bit more of an advantage to the left of screen, isn't there now?
Yeah, I agree. South Logan have got a slight breeze with them in this second half, and they had it in the first half as well. And I think from the toss, if I recall, Chris Farrell from Redcliffe chose the direction he was going to run.
Yep, he did. Sliney plays the football. Georgetown jumps out of dummy half. Dennis gets him with a bit of help there from Phillips. Watkins pushed back just inside his own half. The kick from Hunt just outside the 40, and tracking back Wade Liddell. Sliney there to get him and put him to turf 15 from his own line.
I recall the last time we saw South Logan down at Burleigh, Wade Liddell didn't play that day, and he was standing there holding the umbrella over the coach. So obviously helped him get back in the side. Albeit I jest, he's a very good player, Wade Liddell, been around for a long time and can sniff out a try.
I thought you were going to tell a story about his little mo for a moment.
I'll stay away from that.
I think his moustache is new, fairly new.
He's Travis Riddell. He's had a very good game. This time, Rez.
They had an overlap Phillips. Out left if Rez had passed.
Yeah, Rez had the blinkers on at the time. Last tackle play. Working dummy half now is URC. Ben Cronin just looking for territory, but straight then down to Jay Bond. You don't want to kick to this guy in on the full, because he can beat a few, as we saw him back up for the first try. There's Ben Cronin. Wouldn't be happy with putting it straight down the throat. Carr throws a dummy. He's taken the line on a couple of times in the second half to his regret. This guy's worked hard, Matty Hancock. He was a Broncos 20s player a couple of years ago. Farrell, the skipper, no bandage on the head now. Up over the halfway line. Run out of dummy half there by Helsinger. Bit of a dummy by Geese. Last tackle play. Good chance into the wind to put a high one up. Don't put it too deep. Make sure your runners can come through. That's too deep. And
or mishit.
Again. It's bounced on.
Not a good ball striking day, to use the golfing parlance, for Ryan Carr with his kicks.
He's just not hitting them sweet at all, is he?
No.
Terrific chance there with the wind into you that you could have really just hoisted it up. Instead, he put it too long, and then it even bounced forward, which is the last thing he wanted.
And look, I think South Logan have got a lift here. Redcliffe have come back at them to level the scores, and I think Redcliffe are gradually getting on top. Their big men are starting to play a much more dominant game. Redcliffe have got to regain that energy. I should say the Magpies have got to regain the energy.
Yeah, possession's the key. Both sides look good with the ball.
So Dennis on the halfway line keeps it alive. Nice little pass there from Rez Phillips. But the Dolphins' defence up to it. Dennis again, cut out, balled and low. Last play coming up. Who's the creator? Ben Cronin. Well, hesitated a little.
It's a
terrible. Oh, has it been knocked on? Yes, it has.
It was a floater. It just had no spin on it at all.
Came down on its point.
Yeah, it was just almost still in the air as it was kicked. And that puts a lot of pressure on. That means it's going to move a fair bit. It's not spinning through the air.
And I think, David, Quentin mentioned the wind, and it is starting to swirl. As that bomb was in the air, it went back behind Redcliffe, so it took it away from Bond at fullback just a fraction. Against Waddell at the other end, of course, it made his kick hit the upright and miss. The breeze is swirling now. It's not from consistently in one direction.
So a really good chance here for the Magpies. Ben Cronin to feed the scrum.
Go square. In. Out.
And off to the right they go. Uasi with the service. And Makisi taken only 8 metres out. They continue to the right-hand side. Francis. The try line a matter of metres away. Uasi looks to the open side left. Dennis now keeps it moving to Cronin in the hands of Nichols.
Trouble. He's managed to get the ground.
Just in the field of play. They have to come back open side. Not a great ball. Cronin had to reach for it, but did well, Dennis. Well, that's a bit of a wasted tackle, but nice. Quick play. The ball makes something of it. Iwasi out of dummy half. Here comes the kick from Phillips. Out on the left. Well worked by Rivette to prevent the try.
Yeah, he was at full stretch, Mitch Rivette. He was in trouble. He was just able to stop his forward momentum and then jump to block that. Otherwise, it was straight in the lap of Corey Thompson. This has been another good game of footy. Standard's been good.
And I'll get another set, though, the South Logan Magpies, because Rivette knocked it on into the oncoming South Logan player.
Yep. So great chance for South Logan to build a bit of pressure. It's hard to hold as you get back-to-backs. This time, Dane Phillips to feed. Straight up there to Ben Cronin. Long pass on the outside here to Lowe. Good defence though to just shut him down. So they moved the ruck around. Straight up the middle, then goes Ben Cronin. A couple of probing runs left side. So what do you got set right, boys? Iwasi to work the dummy half. Little play up the middle to Rez Phillips, but it wasn't precise. He got what the lack of precision demanded. On the outside then to Dane Phillips. Out there to the big fella in McKesey. Straight, hard, pops it out the back door as well. Keeps alive to Dane Phillips. Up there to Iwasi, throws the dummy. Gee, he wanted somebody then. He didn't want a dummy then. He wanted somebody to come off his shoulder. It forced him to run. Good face ball up to Rez Phillips, but again the Redcliffe defence good. They know how important it is.
Slimy.
Last tackle play. Good work from Sliney to rush up. Ben Cronin, little grubber kick through. Oh, that could be a... Just knocked on, was it? Grounded Redcliffe. Here they go again.
Another dropout from the Dolphins after they've received the last two kicks and knocked them on. Bond and then Rivette saved the try but knocked it forward. They're under a lot of pressure here, aren't they? Just got a fingertip on it.
Warren, remember that game against Burleigh with their great kicking game close to the line, South Logan. They got a lot of tries from it. This time they're building pressure.
They certainly are, and look, at 16 all, both these teams on 24 points on the competition ladder, third versus fourth, split by 4 and against, and 20 minutes to go in this game.
If Redcliffe can hold here, it might be enough to turn the table.
And referee being a little lenient here, allowing... Oh, Justin Hunt slipped over. Dear me! That must have been a terrific take from Iwasi.
I was looking back at Hunt on the ground. This is ultimate pressure now.
What to look at? Iwasi to play the football 10 metres out. Ioane taken in a good tackle by Helzinger. Iwasi looking both ways. Left he goes. Ben Cronin keeps it alive. It's in the hands of Lowe. Cut down. That's a very good tackle by Justin Hunt. Liddell flings it inboard. Back to Cronin. Now Rez Phillips. Buffets off one. Hatfield did enough there. Couldn't take him, but provided the brick wall. Blindside knocked on.
Great defence.
Knocked on by the Magpies.
Sensational defence. They punched the blind, which was a bit to my surprise.
Georgetown was the man that did the work there on Drury Lowe.
They actually had Lowe initially running into a bit of a gap, but it just slammed shut. There's Nick Sliney, who's responsible to defend right side second row. Here's Justin Hunt.
Make sure you keep your foot down. Don't strike the ball.
Slips over and drills it straight to Uasi. He probably got as big a shock as Justin Hunt.
Now the real challenge for our men in the truck, do they have the catch? We've seen the replay of the kick. I'm half interested as to how Uasi didn't knock it on.
Now the Dolphins have got to make the most of that great defence by some good attack and a good kick on the end of it. They were high fives all round. They were pumped up after that excellent defensive effort to hold out.
Yeah, they don't want to be with their backs to the wall again within a minute. So this is absolutely critical that they get this good set of 6, as Warren said. Farrell up the middle. But that middle has been just terrific today. Doesn't matter who's been standing their ground. Oh, no, that's a bit unfortunate. So I don't think he's delaying tactics there, Dane Phillips. He was caught in an awkward position. The number 7, let's see if he really... He's in there. Oh, well, maybe.
Pretty much just got caught on top, piggybacking, didn't he, really?
But he probably could have got away a bit earlier than that. So
I think the referee had made the call of held and move away. It's always really hard unless you can get a really good pick-up of the referee's mic as to when they instruct the tacklers to get away. Sliney goes on another little dart there. Sun comes out, and the Dolphins making good meterage here through Helsinger. With the penalty and a couple of good runs, the try line is now inside. Ackerman met by 3. The locals are getting vocal. 4 tries to 3 to the Magpies, but Redcliffe can sniff the lead. Carr with a pop pass. Ivan gets the ball intercepted. Taken out there by, is that Corey Thompson? Yes, it is. Corey Thompson in the way. With Paul Ivan popping that pass and a let-off for the Magpies. Here's Makisi.
Paul Ivan put everything into that straight run, was good enough to get his hands free, but couldn't find the mark.
Rest Phillips has done a lot of work today.
16 all will do me at the end. But I don't think so. There's points in both these sides.
I don't want golden point, but I want a result.
But just the way they've both thrown themselves at one another, this has been a top match.
Well, speaking of result, I mean, a draw is a result, but it would be a result, figuratively speaking, for Redcliffe because they've got the better for and against. They share the points today. They stay ahead.
Exactly. Here's Paul Ivan. Hit the line, but nice Corey Thompson.
Oh, and a rush kick here. Good defence from the Dolphins. And now that seems to have held up in this swirling breeze, but, well, that didn't really look to have the advantage of the wind there as it held up. Revette inside Magpies territory.
Mitch Cronin did well to get himself onside there when Phillips got caught.
I don't know about you, Warren. The game just looks like it's opening up now. Territory's going to be the key because I see points coming.
It's an arm wrestle. Both teams playing well.
Yeah, South Slogan have got their chance to defend. How good are they? Redcliffe show they were good in the last 5.
Helsinger out of dummy half for Farrell. And the skipper just surges up the middle corridor again. Nice quick play the ball. Helsinger to Carr, runs at the line, gives the pass to Ivan.
Same play.
Big man's got 4 around him.
They might think about a field goal. Sliney's pointing to the post.
Hunt set back deep as well. They go blindside though. Oh, intercepted!
Offside,
intercepted by Edwards, and he's away. No, the play's allowed to go on. There goes Thompson. Great tackle from Helsinger. Nice quick play the ball. The Magpies want to try and make something of this. They get inside Dolphins territory through Phillips. Oh, stunning football this.
2 intercepts there by South Logan to get themselves out of trouble both times.
The gall of Edwards to go for it and pull it off. Now Yawazi throws a long pass. Nichols thinking of offloading, thinking of surging, still going. Hatfield clinging on for dear life. And look at the Magpies. Now they can calm it down for a bit because they've got a couple of tackles left in this set. And they're in good attacking position. Just 20 metres out. Yawazi to the open side. Through Phillips. Through Dennis. Phillips there. And taken to ground by Edwards. Blindside play. The kick comes from Phillips and Revette gets it out.
I don't think he had to play it. He didn't have to play it, but you do lose your bearings. The ball, I think, was sailing over the touching goal line. Oh,
I think he did the right thing.
Yeah. He had pressure coming from Corey Thompson, but the pressure, well, it's showing on Mitch Revette's face. It's got to be on. How many goal line dropouts is this for Redcliffe in the second half? I thought Edwards was offside for this intercept. Well, he looked like he was even running in the Redcliffe back line at the time.
I think this is the third dropout.
Thompson.
I think it's the third dropout for the second half, but was it at least the 4th for the game? 5th for the game, I think.
5th goal line dropout by Redcliffe. Let's see if Justin Hunt can keep his feet this time.
Uasi's ready.
Well, just while we've got a bit of delay before this dropout, so the run home for South Logan after this Pride up at Bamaga next week. So it's effectively their Pride home game in a way. Mackay away and Norths at home. And the Dolphins, Norths at home, Tweed away, and the Comets at home.
That's why this match is so important. This is going to be really tight stuff come those next 3 games. And now, here we go again.
We'll actually see that Redcliffe Tweed game in a couple of weeks.
Won't that be a ripper?
Sun comes out again. As Rez Phillips has got it once more. Gee.
Revs it up, doesn't he?
Rez just keeps going.
Uasi pops it up. That was Edwards. Yes, it was. A good surging run here by Ioane. Couple of good strong runs. Gee, they played powerfully, South Logan. They've had a real power game up there to Phil Dennis. Kept it alive up there to Ben Cronin. Dennis swoops to this left-hand side. Pass up there to Nichols, couldn't be handled. Knock on. And picked up there beautifully on the bounce by Justin Hunt. Good quick play. The ball will find some defenders offside, but not quick enough.
Hadfield was up in the face of Nichols there. Dennis really shouldn't have thrown the pass.
Val does well to see an opportunity outside there to Ryan Carr. Sorry, Warren.
Yeah, really shouldn't have thrown that pass, Phil Dennis, I don't think.
Joe Bond runs out of dummy half. They're really trying to catch them asleep. Redcliffe with some darting runs. Georgetown just keeps it alive. Pops it up then to Troy Geese. Almost up to the halfway line. Man injured. Some punishing defence has again taken its toll. We're getting near finals, but there's some areas of the country that have played their grand finals already. The Western League grand final played last weekend. Charleville beat Quilpie. And the boys out of Charleville, that's back-to-back grand finals. So the game is really becoming resurgent out in those western areas again. I understand Tom Hearn was the man of the match. Good on you, Tom. And I'm sure that party's still going on in Charleville.
Wait. Go.
And just while we're on games away from this one, Queensland Primary Schools, we've got some good kids coming through. The Queensland domination should still be intact the next 10 years. Queensland beat ACT 28-0 in the Australian final of the Queensland Primary Schools League.
Hunt with the kick.
Wants it to set. Wants it. No.
Too deep. So 11 minutes to play. 16 apiece. And South Logan with the 20-metre restart.
South Logan have had chances in this second half, but it's Redcliffe who have scored the 2 tries, the only points to the Dolphins in the second half.
Almost with a mouthful of mud there, Liddell, as he played the football.
Both sides starting to use their big outside backs just to get some forward momentum.
Well, now Dennis keeps the thighs pumping almost to the halfway line. Uasi comes to the left. Phillips offloads. Ioane, strong man. And taken by Sliney. Gee, he's been a good signing for Redcliffe. Nick Sliney, member of the Pride's Premiership team last year. Penalty. Now, do they even think of taking the 2 here? On a day that's been...
Well, they could hardly kick a goal.
A very tough day, it must be said. No,
a long way out.
Ben Cronin doesn't want to think about it.
But, Quentin, you'd have to think someone's going to gamble on a field goal soon.
Yeah, just...
Gee whiz.
If he was 10 metres closer, I think they would have had a really big think about it. Blindside here, Nichols. They might get the try. 4 tries to 3 South Logan, but 16 all the score. Lowe brings it inboard. Cronin, Uasi, Phillips again. Oh, don't want to influence him out of the match, but I'll try to. He's had a massive game. Uasi. Oh, good piece of defence there from Ackerman to jump out and just obstruct Uasi for a moment, but he's still standing. Not now. Dennis at dummy half looking left. Going left for Cronin. Poor pass. Ioane couldn't take it.
They've blown it a couple of times, South Logan down this end.
Comes to naught.
They've had a couple of straight runners off Ben Cronin and haven't been able to handle as they tried to punch the line.
It's Marty Hatfield keeps getting up there in defence. He was there, at least in the line, and made the tackle. Ball went down. If anything, South Logan there were committed to the front man. They could have been going out the back. They had a 2-man overlap out wide.
The draw is nearer.
There's been 6 draws in the Queensland Cup this year. These 2 teams haven't played one. And they are among 2 of only 5 teams that haven't played in a draw this year.
We'll have another record coming.
Quentin, you said that if it is a draw, and I don't think that's likely, but if it is a draw, it's probably a win to Redcliffe because of their for and against. But on the other hand, we saw the games to come, and I'd say that South Logan have got a slightly harder run ahead. So, you know, they don't want to be the one to lose today.
Yes, it's, well, both teams play Norths. Redcliffe have got Tweed and Centrals, and Souths have got Mackay and Pride. So Yeah.
If you measure it against top 6 teams, South Logan have got to meet 2.
Yep.
Tweed have never been beaten, so they're going to be a hard nut to crack for Redcliffe. As we say, we'll do that game in a couple of weeks' time.
Still about 7 minutes or so for the winning of the game here. Justin Hunt couldn't get the kick away, and that's, well, what's he ruled a knock on?
Yeah, knocked it on. Knocked it on. He dropped the ball.
He didn't get boot to it.
He dropped it, though.
And there's a bit of lip. Oh, here we go. Oh, I thought he might. No, sorry.
False alarm.
I thought that he was marching them 10 there. That would have put them within.
Changeover. It's a changeover.
Oh, that's an eerie.
Big chase from Ben Cronin. He raced out of the line there.
Yeah, they were calling kicker. So Hunt took it too easy.
Nichols takes the tackle. Low feeds the charging Ioane. Nice piece of defence, though.
Field goal territory now.
Hatfield there to take Ioane to ground. They need to get it in the centre of the park, though. Dennis is there. They move it, continually move it out to the right, though. Pass ends up in the hands of Edwards. Jumping out of dummy half, here's Dennis. He's knocked it on. Knocked it on under the pressure of the tackle.
Big Paul Ivan, I think, gave him everything then. Dennis stunned. There's Ivan. Wasn't waiting for any offloads. Just went in and drove him to the ground.
Redcliffe specialise in tall, strong centres today, Ivan and Hatfield.
Now, advantage, slight advantage Redcliffe. They've got the territorial disadvantage, but they've got the ball. They have been under a lot of pressure in this second half, Redcliffe, but have defended magnificently. They have not conceded a point in the second half, and they've had a number of goal line dropouts, as we've said. I think at least 3 in this second half was the verdict.
Sliney again, he's just been a man mountain.
Territory is the name of the game here, and just get the opposition away from your danger zone is your initial thought.
Ackerman on tackle 2.
There's Sliney.
Can you believe it? The 2 players who've kicked field goals for Redcliffe this year aren't on the field. They're both out injured. Dan Cross for the season and Todd Murphy.
Burns plays the footy. Carr pops it up for Watkins. And inside Magpies territory he goes, albeit by just a couple of metres. Carr, Ackerman. This is not field goal territory out here on 5.
No, got to kick defensively, get it in the pocket.
So Hunt at dummy half. Carr, how's this kick? Goes another banana kick. He does get it sort of into that corner, but Liddell's there. And he's centre park, 22 out.
Banana kick's meant to be a shock tactic, and that surprised no one.
Well, I do not know why he didn't go for the air there.
That's his option, was either to try and force an error or just get it in behind their back men. Now South Logan with a good chance to perhaps get it into field goal territory as well.
Mind you, I think the physical petrol tanks of a lot of players is pretty low.
I think they're all running on empty after this particular match, but somebody will find something. As we get to what, 4th tackle. One more could get him in range. Up there to Phil Dennis. He's going to just storm it forward, almost to the 30-metre line. Somebody, Ben Cronin at the back here. He could knock one over from 42 metres out. No, he's chipped it. He didn't use his driver. Back there to Joe Bond. And Bond dances around, goes to the turf. Under 5 minutes now. It's a while since we've had points. It's almost, is that 25 minutes?
Yeah, the Rivette try was scored, I say, well, that was after 52 minutes, and then what was the next?
No, that was it.
That was it, yeah.
Now, Redcliffe to get it up over the halfway line. I've got to say they're playing super careful, but that wasn't real careful. Out there to Sliney, brushes one away, goes again at them, gets it almost to the 40. They're in a similar situation now. One more ruck could get them into range, but they're against what appears to be the breeze. Watkins. Nothing creative here by Redcliffe at the moment. Do they want to put a play on it? No, they're going to go a shot now.
Justin Hunt.
Not a bad shot either.
Yes!
Not a bad under. We're going to go to the video.
I think he's got it over.
I thought it went over from here.
I'm going over.
Mitch Cronin.
Gee, the crowd will be barracking for this one.
Well, wow. Will we have a shot on it? This will be the question.
Is it a field goal or a soccer goal? Soccer goal doesn't count in this game.
That was outside the 40. I thought it dropped under. Let's have a look.
Oh, it's under.
You're right.
Good eyes,
right.
David. Good eyes.
My glasses, my eyes are shocking, actually.
But it was a great hit from Justin
Wasn't it?
Hunt.
I was.
It wasn't the last tackle. They could have taken one more.
I'm gonna blame the white on white for the reason.
Oh, he thought he
that
kicked
I
it
couldn't
there.
see it.
He thought he kicked it.
And I was with the reaction of Justin Hunt as well.
Having another look.
Underneath.
What does Mr. Maxsood think? How's
Fine
his
with that.
eyesight?
Mate, that's short, so it's taken in goals, 20-metre restart.
Oh, that's a big bonus too. Taken on the full. Drop kick is the same as a kick in general play if you take it on the full. That's how close it went. He took it on the full in his own in-goal area, but it went under the bar. That's how close it was. Nice work there by Ioane. Kept it alive. Does well to pop it up to the big fella in Appleton. That's a good run, that, because that'll get him back in field goal range. Iwaashi's been dangerous. Up there to Dane Phillips. Good pass again on the outside. Is that the big man again in Appleton? No, it wasn't. Might have been Nichols.
Ben Cronin's in centre field again.
Well within range, but they don't have to go yet. Dane Phillips up there to Cronin. Looks back on the inside. Your kicker's out of play now, but it is only the fourth tackle. They're well within range. No one's deep enough to go for a shot for field. This one now, good run Appleton. Where's Cronin? No.
On the left. Phillips as well.
Phillips is going to have a shot. And under. Oh, well taken. Was that on the full? Doesn't matter. Joe Bond's going to run it back out again. I'm back in a draw.
Gee, that's a big call with 3 minutes to go.
No, I said it about 10 minutes ago, Quentin.
Off the back.
Well,
we're talking to 10 minutes ago.
I reckon there's still a chance for a win here. Mitch Rivette's got the footy. And here goes big Paul Ivan out of dummy half. There's so many tired men. I just think the meterage can be chewed up from either team now. Ivan quickly inside Magpies territory. Couple of tackles left in the set. Ryan Carr now to Burns.
Another one more. Someone said take the 10. That's exactly what you've got to do.
Surging forward is Watkins.
Oh, good run.
Now, Hunt's got to have his confidence up surely after that last kick. He's got it again from 38. That's a good hit, but it's off to the right. And into the end goal it goes.
On the full again.
Okay.
Well, the player's offside, so we had to go back and wait. His players were offside.
Wait!
One more set each.
In the middle! In the middle!
Lucky there. That could have been a penalty for players offside taking the tap.
Well, that's what the Redcliffe team was screaming at the referee for.
I think they're right. He took the tap and the players were in front of the 20-metre line. That's a huge bonus to South Logan.
Well, this is where they need a really strong couple of runs up the middle of the park, 8, 10, 12 metres, or they go wide. Instead, Edwards, a couple of metres his own side of halfway, back to the middle they come. The captain knows the only way is up the middle. He gets it away to Uwazi. And he stopped eventually. 45 metres out. Up the middle they chug. Appleton, that's a good run.
Redcliffe have been beaten by a point twice in the last 3 games.
Last play, who is it?
Shocking pass.
It's back for Ben Cronin, and they're going to have to run it. They're going to have to run it out on the left-hand side low. It pops it inboard. Through the hands it goes. A great try-saving tackle made by Hancock. And now Bond's on the counter-attack. Bond beats a couple, and Bond's run down from behind by Nichols. Whoa, what a finish here. Redcliffe with the footy. You reckon now that South Logan can't win the game?
He should have given it.
Inside the last minute.
And what a tackle from Hancock.
The Dolphins are in their own half. Hunt to Rivette. Oh, good run from Mitch Rivette over the halfway line. Cool heads now if they go up the middle. Out of dummy half goes Georgetown. Good run from Georgetown. Can the Dolphins pinch it in the last set of the game?
They can now.
Burns goes to ground. Hunt set. This time, how's his range? Missed it again! Missed it again, off to the right. It's going to be a draw. You'd have to think it'd be a draw now.
He's missed to the right twice. He's hit all 3 of them well.
An in-back play, Mark Ioane's down and hurt with a right knee injury.
The markers tried to race out to get to Hunt. They put enough pressure on him.
Well, 3 shots at field goal from Justin Hunt. One just under the bar and a couple just to the right. This one had plenty of distance, but just faded, just had a slice on it. And Well, what do you do here? 15 seconds.
Surely you take your medicine as far as you don't kick the ball. You couldn't see South Logan kicking the ball.
Only if they've still got in their hands as the whistle goes, you can chip over the top.
Well,
but you can't give Redcliffe the ball one more time.
No. So here we go, last play of the game. The second to last, perhaps. They go wide. It's kept alive. Yawazi brings it back to Dennis. Dennis, oh dear, that nearly got intercepted. Now Croydon is away. He leaves it behind, and now Redcliffe have a chance. Georgetown tackled. Is that full time? It is over. It is over. 4 tries to 3 to South Slogan, but it finishes 16 points all. And this season of draws in the Queensland Cup has another. The first for these two teams. For the time being, Redcliffe stay in 3rd and South Slogan 4th. 16 all it finishes at Brandon Park. Well, what an appetizer for the finals, with this being the first game of the last month of the home and away season. 16 all it finished. One more penalty to South Slogan. Scrums were the same. Well, South Slogan had 8 more possessions of the football and 54% in all. Line breaks were pretty even. Better field position for South Slogan, and the 140-20 in the first half. And the other stats, Redcliffe played it predominantly in their half. Errors similar. The Dolphins had to make more tackles, not much in the missed tackles, and the offloads pretty similar as well. 5 dropouts to 2 for Redcliffe, and more kicks in general play from South Slogan. So, in essence, you get the feeling off the stats, and 4 tries to 3 as well. South Slogan probably the more disappointed of the two not to have won the game. But 16 all it finishes, and that funny feeling as Mark Beaumont walks from the field, the coach of the Magpies. Well, there's always a question of wondering what may have been in a draw, but anyway, who won the man of the match, David?
Mate, I've given it to Rez Phillips. Rez, you had a tearaway game, mate. A draw at the end, but how's it feel?
Oh, yeah. Oh, pretty average. I felt like probably could have got that one. Like 4 tries to 3, so, but yeah, I don't know.
Mate, you had a fantastic first half. You had scored 4 tries in the first half, couldn't kick a goal, and some of the defence in the middle was a real feature.
Like, we've been working on our D, like, in the middle there, so...
Mate, what about your own history? Where are you from?
I played juniors here. I played 7 to 17s at South Juniors, and I continued playing South Logan Magpies, Colts and that for a few years in A grade last year. Now happened making cup and that, so it's been pretty good.
Mate, South Logan looking pretty good, mate. I think that's 9 out of the last 10 games where you've only lost 1, and that was to the Tweed, so confidence must be high.
We're going pretty good. Like, we lost that radio connection, but like our boys are like working well together. We know what we've got and like that. So like we just need to keep going 1 week, keep going.
All right, mate. You did score 4 tries to 3 today, but came out with the draw. Your 1 point will do you nicely coming up to the finals. Well done.
Yep, cheers, mate. Thanks a lot. Thanks everyone. That's all.
And Redcliffe 5/8 Joe Bonder's with me. Look, after the last few weeks, Joe, where you've lost 3 in a row, but they've all been close. How do you feel about a draw today?
Yeah, it's just another, I think, bad result when you come to it. But you can never get in those close games. You can never get out of the grind, so it's pretty unlucky.
You would love to have seen one of those field goals go over.
Yeah, definitely. Huntsy's last one got pretty close, and the one before, so it's one of those days.
The game, I guess, when you look at it, was where it went against you in the first half. You've scored all the points in the second half. What did you need to do better in the first?
I think our completions, we were a bit poor in our completions the first half, and they just dominated field possession. That's just football. If you hold the ball and dominate territory, you're going to get the results. So, and they scored 4 tries or 3 tries in that first half.
Well, the draw might mean you've turned the corner back towards winning territory at least. The finals aren't far away now.
Yeah, hopefully we get some momentum out of this result, but take it as a negative and see where we can go on.
Well done, Joe. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for your time. Cheers.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think Redcliffe will well and truly be happy with that 1 point. They've had some tough losses in the last 3 weeks, as we said. 2 of them 1 point losses, so they could add another one today, which would have been devastating. And of course, that loss last week. So the 1 point will, I think, do them. It'll at least stop the hemorrhaging, and they'll be able to set themselves for the remaining 3 games of the season. But they did very well, Redcliffe. They were down by 16 points to 6 at half time, and a nice little bust there by Butterfield. Good back up then by Joe Bond. He cuts away from the fullback. He is a terrific broken field runner, Joe Bond. Played at the back today by coach Johnny Dixon, and it paid dividends on that occasion, Warren.
Yeah, it certainly did. He's very sharp, isn't he, Joe Bond? And this was an important try, wasn't it, David, for them? But after trailing through the first half, to get back into it in this fashion, I think, gave them a lot of confidence.
Well, it did, Warren, and that was the 3rd minute of the second half too. So if you can hit back straight away like that, like they were outplayed in the first half, as we said, 4 tries to 1 down, to hit back straight away is a real psychological boost.
A surge of confidence, and I think you could see it in the way they kept on going in the second half. At one stage, I thought they were getting on top, and in fact, if not for 2 intercepts by South Slogan right on their own line,
that's right.
It could have been a different story, because Redcliffe, I thought, were certainly getting field position. They were looking dangerous, but they weren't able to nail those points.
No, they weren't, but they were able to get the second try, the all-important second try in the second half. And this was a fantastic coaches team try. Dummy runners everywhere. Justin Hunt, Ryan Carr, looks on the inside, fires the outside, out there through the hands of Ivan, out to Rivette.
Yeah, a very good try, this one. It couldn't have been better executed, could it, David? Every man has played his part, timed what he had to do to perfection. To work the defence into the position you wanted them to be.
Yeah, and the point, Warren, that you make too is there was plenty of defenders there. They ultimately just got all out positioned by all those dummy runners. Now, all coaches are trying to do it these days with a lot of dummy runners to deceive defenders. That time it came off perfectly.
Well, the decoy runners in close held the defence there. Then Ryan Carr, even with that little inside fake, he just held them a little bit longer and meant that the 2-on-1 out wide was going to work. I mean, in the end, it's a clear try. There's no cover on the winger.
That was the 52nd minute. So we went 28 minutes then, toe-to-toe with these two sides. Field goals at all directions, goal line dropouts. That's been one of the best games we've had.
Yeah, no, it was a beauty. It was a class game. Look, I think both teams will think in that second half they could have taken one or two more opportunities. That applies to the Magpies as well. But a great, a really competitive match.
Yeah, of course, we've only got 3 weeks before the finals now. Both those sides now, I think they're still equal third. The third spot's so important because 1, 2 and 3 home games.
Yeah, well, they're equal third on 25 points now. 1 point behind the Northern Pride. Will be looking over their shoulder at both of them. We're coming down to a fine final series, and that's an indication of how close the best sides are.
Yeah, we've had a couple of great games in the last couple of weeks, and I think you're in for a terrific set of games over the next 6 weeks as well. Now it's back to Quentin. He's got all the scoring summary from today's draw.
Thanks, David. 16 points, all 4 tries to 3 for South Slogan. Makisi, Ben Cronin, Mitch Cronin and Liddell with the tries, but not a goal to be found between Cronin's 3 attempts and the 1 attempt from Waddell. While for Redcliffe, Sliney, Bond and Rivette, the try scorers 2 from 3 for Liam Georgetown. Oh, how that ball that bounced off the post and off the crossbar, had it gone over? Well, could we have seen a different game? What a result in the offing at Langlands Park. East's lead winner Manly 20 points to 4. The Seagulls in the 6. East's well out of contention. Half-time at Ipswich as well. And the Jets lead Norths in a tight one there, 10 points to 6. Later across the weekend, today in Cairns, the Pride take on the Cutters. Big game for both teams there. The Comets host the Bears. Well, the Bears, if they win that one and win a Manly lose, they might be able to jump back into the 6. Depending on what the Cutters do. And the top of the table, Tweed, play the bottom of the table, Sunshine Coast at Pigabeen. That game tomorrow. 16 all that finished here today. Next week, another big game for you out at Ipswich as the Jets take on Tweed Heads. Make sure you join us then.